With the law and violence involving our youth, both are becoming rising issues with law enforcement in the metro. But tonight, a former convict is looking to get in front of that trend by hosting a roundtable to show kids going down the wrong path there is a way out. News 4's Deion Broxton shares his message tonight.
It's always a story behind why they doing it.
Arrayas Nicholas says he knows why teens in St. Louis walk around like this.
They trying not to die. They got guns to defend themselves. They got ski masks on to cover up their identity.
There are people in St. Louis City who refuse to stand by and do nothing about these images. A lot of older men who have had their own run-ins with the law feel like the youth violence in St. Louis is at a crisis level right now. So they assembled for Friday's event to bring about some kind of change.
All of these kids aren't bad. We're bringing in collaborators that have been there, did that, done that, understand the pain from it, and want them to clearly understand, you think this is cool. I've done 45 years in prison.
Many of these men partnered with Sankofa Mentoring and Training Center in North St. Louis to tell teens there's more opportunity out there outside of guns and drugs.
We offer them that, work skills.
Guys got high political pull in the streets.
Darren Sills is the CEO and president of Sankofa, one of the brains behind this gathering.
Same thing I seen through my eyes, one of the OGs seen through their eyes.
Solving crime in St. Louis won't happen overnight, but the people in this room believe they're responsible for being part of the solution to keep teens like Nicholas out of trouble.
It means everything to me to bring people my age to stop killing each other.
In North City, Deion Broxton, News 4.